This is my last Montana video maybe for a while. Plan to move out this week, but yeah, we'll see if the trailer gets positioned and if everything's set up and I can load up the van and move it down there to northern Cali. Getting a lot better prices on things down there lately, and Montana has gotten pretty expensive. But today's topic, Brian Layton, a friend on Facebook, was posting this Reddit piece, a hit job, I believe, on Roger Stone. I never even clicked it because I knew probably what it was. It's never difficult to discern the intent of individuals who say the worst acquittals Trump did, hint not Lil Wayne or whatever. And so I'm like, yeah, Roger Stone. Okay, they're going to talk about Roger Stone here. So I said, well, the best was Roger Stone because, I mean, pre-dawn raid, the blah, 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 you know. He spent $1 million some probably just doing this raid and scaring his deaf wife and putting frogmen in the water, and just, like the old man's going to put a knife in his mouth and dive out the window and go slay them from behind by diving in the water or something, you know. It's people. Somebody should be responsible for all the money wasted on that. That is disgraceful. Just that alone tips you off, and the fact that CNN was all there early pre-dawn ready to shoot the imagery, they tipped them off just so they want to portray conservatives as dangerous people, obviously, and this is their theater to do that. It's just utterly stupid. Anyway, Roger, as far as I know, did nothing wrong. The FBI claims he lied, and it's all based on just their hearsay from what I've seen. There's no actual documentation, and Brian's like, oh, that's the way it always is, you have to put your faith in something. Well, no, you know that it's admitted by Comey that Hillary Clinton committed the crime, but he said she didn't intend anything wrong. Oh, yeah. It's just a total double standard. You judge Roger Stone based on hearsay and assuming that he's lying when there's no proof that he's lying. With Hillary Clinton, you know she did the crime. You got the documentation, but you turn it around and say, well, she didn't have any bad intent. Oh, just utterly stupid double standard. Anyway, well, you know, it's not surprising to see this stuff on. He gives me a Wikipedia link, and Reddit, Wikipedia, fairly heavily tied together there. I actually got run off of Reddit by trolls when I posted the story I'm going to tell you, which was something I personally witnessed and multiple people witnessed. It's now been scrubbed from the internet because, excuse me, the archives of the old news groups are gone as far as I know. You can't get any of that stuff anymore as far as I've seen. It's Deja, you know, put it up, and then Google had it for a while, and they only had a limited amount of stuff, though. They didn't put up the whole thing, and I saw proof of that. They used to have a thing where you could see how many total posts there were for the segment of time, see stats, and in 1985 to 86, mid-year, before I got on, there were like 70 posts in talk.religion.misc, and that volume sunk to 15, from 70 to 15 when it was clearly growing. They filtered out all the posts that had me in it. They totally took all of them, except they missed a cross post to sci.research because we had a hiccup that day and the UUCP address used didn't get caught. Yeah, it was BAW at graylady.uoregon.edu. That was the normal address that we used, but something went wrong with the Mass Comp 500 that day and their connection, and they had this alternate UUCP address. And that one proves that I was there, but nothing proves anything to anyone anymore unless they can find the archive tape that has. It'd be nice to find the archive tape that has the complete thing, because then you'd see all this, including Henry Spencer responding to a man named Ken Berry, who had said if there were good solid historical evidence he might believe in the resurrection. And I said, well, what could I hypothetically give you? And oops, that didn't go well. Henry realized I was blowing his whole game open because, you know, what are you going to expect to see? The government saying Jesus Christ, who we crucified on this day, rose up into the heavens? No, they're not going to post that. They're not going to admit to that. So, yeah, anyway, you had all these witnesses and you had everything you would hypothetically have in the given circumstances to witness of that event. It's all there already, so there's nothing you could add and say, well, if only there were a videotape, you know, they didn't have videotapes then, and what do you want, you know? Good solid historical evidence. Government to agree to post something that'll defame them, that's not going to happen. So anyway, there's your layout in the nutshell to what Henry Spencer suddenly intruded on the conversation with a post titled, "I spew thee off the Usenet." And he proceeded to curse my name for 7 typewritten pages. I page down, page down, page down. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding. And it just goes on and on and on with the same drivel. And yeah, somebody had a rage case there, and of course none of that stuff made it into the Deja archives. They nuked everything, and that's why there were only 15 threads that year segment, as opposed to the previous year we had 70. Now, all this could be witnessed by Ken Berry, by Mickey Berry, by, who was a witch, as I recall, by Charlie Wingate, who was kind of a pontificator, and other people that were there, but a little research and you'd turn up some data. But really, we need to find those archives, whoever has that archive tape, and get the stuff so it's viewable, and you'll find that if it's the full archive, somebody has that somewhere, obviously, but nobody's interested in research. When I tried to post this on Henry's Wiki page, it was promptly removed. However, for conservatives like Roger Stone, they allow any kind of hearsay to be posted and defame them, and they defend it. You hypocrites, you Wiki Reddit hypocrites. You are just a bunch of little liars pushing your agenda. You have no credibility whatsoever, and that's why I don't allow people to post a wiki post or anything as something to substantiate an argument. It just doesn't work with me. I don't consider it anything to even be viewed. I didn't even click on Brian's link. I don't care to see a bunch of little gossiping nitwits. Oops, I should add on to that. Dave Sinkovich, our system administrator, actually unplugged the whole University of Oregon from outside news groups, and I had to find alternate ways to get on, and it took most of a year to find a free way to get on at UNC. I think I went to first, and then Eugene Freenet. But yeah, so I said, Dave, did this have anything to do? And he goes, I don't even want to talk about it. It's finished. It's done. So yes, it was clearly about the thing I said and this reaction Henry Spencer had to it. Henry called and leveraged him into unplugging the whole university from outside news groups. So this is the kind of just Nazi-esque kind of protocol leftists use to censor people. Enjoy my new song, The Season of Censoring, on SoundCloud. I'll have a video up soon. Have a good day.